So there we go. So we're live on YouTube, we're live on TikTok, and we're live on Facebook. All these platforms, you can find us at My U.S. Immigration Lawyer. So it's facebook.com, My U.S. Immigration Lawyer. Same for TikTok. Good day, Leah. Good day, Marcia. Good day, all my friends on TikTok. Okay. So if you are now joining us, I am Immigration Attorney Gail Seeram, bringing you live immigration info. We're trying to do this the first Wednesday of every month, a half an hour session where we're giving you some updates, and we're also answering your questions. So please go ahead and type your questions, and we will, try to answer them, and we'll try to bring you some updates also. Okay. I'm just saying hi on Facebook and YouTube because I'm not really seeing some questions come in. But let's get straight to the questions. A little bit about me. I'm based in Orlando, Florida, but with immigration law, we can practice immigration law all over nationwide and international. We have clients all over the world. For those of you who are not in the US, you can always hit us up on WhatsApp. Our WhatsApp is 407-353-1363. Visit our website, GailLaw.com, GailLaw.com. We have been practicing law since 1999. So we're in our 24th year as an attorney and doing immigration law for about 19 years, close to 20 years. So we have a lot of experience in the area. Our practice is solely dedicated to immigration. Okay. So I'm going to get straight into some of these questions. So my husband's green card holder, he put in for me since 2019. If your husband's a green card holder filing for a spouse is a 2-year process, 19, 20, 21. So it seems like there's some delay there. So the 3 steps when a green card holder is filing for a spouse is first, the marriage-based petition is filed with U.S. Citizenship and Immigration Services. Then step 2, the file goes to the visa center. And then step 3, the file goes to the embassy. So you need to figure out where your file is at. Where was your last communication? Was your last communication with U.S. Citizenship and Immigration Services, or was it with the visa center? So on that question, which was coming from TikTok, if you don't know where to go to find the answer, you can set a consultation with our office. We would charge $100 because that's a prior filing, and you would give us whatever you have last, and we will go from there. A good question on the fee increase. I was going to talk about the fee increase. The fee increase, there is a proposal for a fee increase, and it's in the comment period. So right now they're getting comments from the public, but most likely that fee increase is going to go into effect. You're going to hear about it more end of March or April. We will definitely bring that to you. So yes, there is a fee increase. My friend has a U.S. citizen child. She's going through a divorce and she can't work. If your friend has a U.S. citizen child, if the U.S. citizen child is over 21, that child can file for her. Okay. How many weeks you're supposed to get a biometrics appointment? Biometrics appointment, it depends on when you file, but normally within 2 to 3 months of filing, you get a biometrics appointment. Okay. Again, I'm Immigration Attorney Gail Seeram. I see a lot of people are now logging in. Let's help the community. Let's share this great immigration info and hit share. Hit share so all your friends can see us live and join in on the conversation and get some immigration info for themselves. Okay. Give us the likes, give us the comments. I know a lot of comments and questions are coming in on TikTok. Cuba, is the program for Cuba still going on? Yes, that program for Cuba is still going on. My U.S. citizen, I put my husband's paperwork in last February 2022. Again, if you put your husband's paperwork in February 2022, again, it depends if your husband's outside the United States or if he's in the United States. But generally, that should be just taking 1 year. Again, for all of you who you filed, paperwork is pending, you don't know why it's taking so long. If you want me to take a look at it, tell you if it's on track or not on track, within processing time, not within processing time. Again, you can set a consultation with our office. You could go to our website, and on our website, there's a blue button that says book online. You could click that button, and it will open up my schedule. You pick a date and time. If you have a prior filing, you will have to pay $100 for the consultation and upload whatever documentation you have for that filing. Okay. Work permits, how long a work permit's taken. In some of our cases that we filed last year, work permits are taking a year. Some of our recent cases that we're filing, it's taken 2 to 3 months. It's case by case, and it really depends on when you file. I have a visa to take my 3-year-old daughter husband for a visa. They refused me. Tourist visa questions. Nobody has a right to a tourist visa. That's the bad news. You can apply, but it's up to the immigration officer to decide whether they're going to give you a tourist visa. Nobody has a right to a tourist visa. The standard used when you're applying for tourist visa is, show us that you have no intent to go live in the United States. Show us your strong ties to your native country. So a lot of times when they deny you the tourist visa, it's because you're not showing strong ties. Nothing prevents you from reapplying, bringing in more paperwork to show your strong ties. At the end of the day, when the embassy denies you for a tourist visa, there's nothing you can do to appeal that. It's not appealable. It's at the discretion of the officer. Valerie, I see you're asking about how to start a process. Let me know what process you're talking about. But again, if you haven't filed any paperwork, we do offer a free consultation by phone. And again, go to our website, GailLaw.com, GailLaw.com. Click that book online button and you can set your free consultation. What's the next step after filing I-751? That I-751 was part of my bad news. Today, I'm bringing you good news and bad news, okay? Well, let's start with the bad news. That bad news was what I was going to talk about. And since I'm getting a few questions on that I-751, I-751s are the petition filed when you have a 2-year green card and you're now filing for the 10-year green card. You were given a 2-year green card because your green card was based on marriage to a U.S. citizen. And when your marriage to a U.S. citizen is less than 2 years, you only get a 2-year green card. So at the end of the 2 years, you have to file another petition, the I-751, show proof that you've been living and married to that U.S. citizen spouse before you get the full approved for the full 10-year card. Bad news, those 751s, now you're getting receipt notices saying that the process is taking 48 months. That's 4 years for them to make a decision on the I-751. That's why that's bad news. It used to be 12 months, then they extended it to 18 months, then 24 months. We got a few decisions this week on our 751s, and these are people who've been filed 3 years ago. So some of these 751s are taken beyond the 2-year period. That's the bad news. And a few of our clients who filed and got 24-month extensions, the immigration just sent 48-month extensions. So if you're one of those people who filed and got the 2-year extension on your I-751, but you didn't get the 4-year extension, then you need to call the 800 number with immigration and say that you need an I-551 stamp, that you need an extension because it's been 2 years and you haven't had a decision, okay, on your I-751. So that's our bad news. My brother put in for my sister in 2008. Well, right now for brother, sister, they're working on 2007, okay? So you kind of have 1 more year to wait on that. And what you have to do is wait for the file to be at the visa center. So if you're at 2000, if you filed 2008 and immigration is up to 2007, normally within 1 year of the visa being issued, which is where you're at, your file should be at the visa center. If your file is not at the visa center, then you have to call the visa center. But if you don't have a case number, you'll have to call USCIS, or you can make a consultation with our office for $100 for us to review the case, where it's at, and make sure it is where it should be. Travel documents, those, oh my goodness, they're taking over a year for the travel document. I'm seeing some clients with travel documents getting their green card before the travel document. So I think at this point, don't hold your breath for the travel document. But if you did apply for the travel document and you have an emergency, someone has died or is about to die or on their deathbed, you can make an appointment with immigration to get an emergency travel document once you already had filed your I-131 and you have a receipt, okay? I applied for my citizenship. It's been 9 months. Citizenship, I'm surprised because citizenship is taking about 3 to 4 months for us to get an interview. So if you applied and it's been 9 months, you may want to go on USCIS website and do an online inquiry if you filed already, or call the 800 number USCIS and do an inquiry, okay? What if I divorce before my husband gets his citizenship? If your husband filed for citizenship, even if you divorce him, it's not going to impact his petition unless his citizenship is being filed based on 3 years. When you file for citizenship, if you file based on, thank you for that share, Savagery, and for helping your friends out and sharing this information. But going back to the citizenship, if your husband filed for citizenship and his citizenship is based on marriage, then the divorce would impact his citizenship and he'll probably be denied. But if you file for citizenship based on 5 years and not being married to a U.S. citizen, then you divorcing him would not have an impact, okay? My I-45 is pending. My I-360 is approved about a year ago. I just got an approval on an I-45 with the I-360 being approved. I-360 is spouse. It took us 3 years. So after we got the I-360 approved, it took us 3 years to get that I-45 approved, 2 to 3 years. So, unfortunately, those are the wait times. So I know you've been waiting a year. Give it another year. If you feel your case is outside of processing, you have to call USCIS. A lot of these questions have one theme. I've been waiting so long. Again, that's another bad news. Wait times are longer than usual. And a lot of this has to do with post-pandemic. Believe it or not, I know you're sick of hearing that, but post-pandemic, immigration is still catching up on interviews and cases. So if you feel your case is outside of normal processing, nothing prevents you from calling USCIS, the 800 number that's at the bottom of your receipt notice. And you can give them your receipt number, and then they will tell you if they could put an inquiry in for you or not. Sometimes they may tell you your case is within normal processing time, and they're not going to put an inquiry in for you. B2 visa, I want to marry my girlfriend, apply for adjustment 90 days or 60 days, which is better. Give us a call for that free consultation. I would like to, I don't want you to rush and get married. There are some rules about how many days you can marry when someone enters the United States. So for that person who has that question, go to GailLaw.com, GailLaw.com, click the blue button and make your appointment online, okay? My grandpa applied for my aunt. She's been on wait for 6 years. He died. What can we do? Okay. When the petitioner dies, so if your grandfather died, the petition unfortunately dies also. So that petition is now void. However, there is a process where we can ask for humanitarian reinstatement, asking immigration to reinstate that petition. You can set a consultation with our office. It will be $100 because you have a prior filing. So go to our website, GailLaw.com, hit the blue button, make an appointment, pay the $100, and upload a copy of whatever you have regarding that filing. How long can I apply for citizenship after having my green card? When you have your green card, if you're filing based on 3 years, meaning 3 years you're in the US and 3 years of living and married to a US citizen spouse where you have tax returns, bank statements, and so forth, then you could file for citizenship based on 3 years after you get the green card if you're living in the US for 3 years. If you don't have the evidence to prove that you're living with the US citizen spouse in a good faith marriage, then wait the 5 years after living in the US. Again, I keep saying living because it's not how long you've had the green card, it's physical presence in the United States. So when you have the green card, you have to demonstrate the 3 years or 5 years of physical presence in the US before you can file for citizenship. So that's, my sibling has an approved I-130 and living in the US. Okay, didn't go overseas. If you file for your sibling, again, those petitions are taken 14 to 17 years, depending on when it was filed. But that's 14 to 17 years that you're supposed to be outside of the United States, not living in the United States. So if you file for your sibling, because those are preference category, those are backlog cases, and you're not allowed to remain in the US illegally while those petitions are pending. So if you file for your sibling and the sibling has already overstayed in the United States, they're not going to be able to get their permanent residence, your green card, through your petition, because that's for consular processing, that's processing abroad. And once you're in the US illegally for more than a year and you leave or depart the US, then you have a 10-year ban from returning to the US. So processing outside the US is not going to be an option. I got married, I got a divorce, but have my green card. We have a child. If you got married, you got a green card, what I need to know is that for Jamal Clay, what I need to know is if that green card is a 2-year green card or a 10-year green card. If the green card is a 10-year green card, it doesn't matter that you're divorced. If the green card is a 2-year green card, then it does matter that you're getting a divorce, because you will have to file a petition to get the 10-year card. You can file it on your own. You don't have to file it being married, but we will have to talk to you about that. So set a free consultation with our office so we can go through those options if it is a 2-year green card. If it's a 10-year green card, no issue. Just wait 5 years living in the US with the green card, and then you can file for citizenship. Okay. My son unmarried. I filed I-130 December 2016, received my last letter of approval. Their son is unmarried. For that person, ZUB, I need to know if you're a citizen or a green card holder. Okay. So 2016. But let's go through some dates. Let me give you some time frames on that. Okay. So let's go off of filing for unmarried son. Okay. If you are a U.S. citizen and you filed for an unmarried son over 21 outside the United States, they're working on December 2014. December 2014. So that's a 9-year wait. If you file for an unmarried son over 21 of a permanent resident, they're working on September of 2015. Okay. So it depends on, and you said you filed in 16. So if you are a U.S. citizen, you have about 2 more years to wait. If you are a permanent resident, you have about 1 year more to wait on that question. Okay. Can I eliminate asylum if I was never called for an interview? No, very good question. Okay. A lot of people come to the United States, they file for asylum so they could get that work permit. Then asylum cases can take 10 to 12, 14 years. And once you file asylum, you're on the hook for that asylum petition. So best thing to do is still continue with your marriage-based petition. And once you get the green card, then you will have to write a letter to the asylum office and seeking to withdraw your asylum application. They don't have to allow you withdrawal, but the asylum application will still continue down a separate path. Eventually, even if you have an interview, you could withdraw it at the interview, or if you have a court case, you could withdraw it during your court case. But the basis for the asylum, if you're going to withdraw it, you have to show that it was not a frivolous petition, meaning you didn't file it just to gain a benefit, awaiting, to get married to somebody. But that, even though you get a green card, but you had filed an asylum petition, it doesn't just automatically make that asylum petition go away. You will have to take action to withdraw that asylum petition. Okay. To my friend there. Let's see. Receipt is locked in mailbox. Husband on deployment training. Can you help? No, but marriage. Okay. You can call. You're just going to have to get access to the mailbox, because that receipt notice that's in the mailbox has your receipt notice. It has your receipt number. And if you call immigration, there's nothing for you to reference. You have to get access to that mailbox to get your receipt notice. Okay. Someone just asked a question on what is my good news. Remember, the theme for today's session was good news, bad news. Bad news being that I-751s are taking 4 years now for a decision, and that's people with a 2-year green card applying for a 10-year green card. Good news is, and someone just asked me a question on that their marriage-based green card interview was waived 3 months ago. Okay, wonderful. That is my good news, that a lot of interviews for marriage-based green card, once you submit enough documentation to prove the marriage is good faith based on love, they are waiving those interviews and mailing the card. If it's been 3 months and you have had if it's been 3 months and you saw online or received notices that your I-130 and your I-45 have been approved, then that means your interview has been waived. And normally our clients get the green card within a week. So if you receive, and this is to Mary Lee, if you already got an I-130 approval notice and you got an I-45 approval notice and you didn't get your green card in the mail, then there's a problem. When they mail you the green card, it does come with signature confirmation, meaning you have to sign to get the card. If you don't sign, if no one's there to sign, they leave a piece of paper and you have to go to the post office to pick up the card. If you don't pick up the card, then the card gets sent back to immigration. Okay. But if you got an I-130 approval notice and an I-45 approval notice, that means your interview was waived and you should look for the card. Okay. Permanent resident file for my twin daughters under 21 in 2020. Their case is DQ and I'm waiting 9 months for interview. Their case is at the embassy, I'm assuming. That for permanent resident filing for children under 21, it is a 2-year processing time. So it sounds like you've finished processing and you're waiting at the embassy. Some embassies right now are taking 1 year to schedule interviews. I have a client that had an interview in March 2020 when the pandemic started, and she just got her interview rescheduled at the embassy for December 2022. So it took her a good 2 years. So some embassies are very backlogged. What I could recommend is that you could send an email to the U.S. Embassy in that country and reference the case number and see what they tell you on the interview. Okay. I sent inquiry months ago. What U.S. take to respond? USCIS, if you send an inquiry, if you use the online inquiry system, they can take 3 to 6 months to respond. Okay. No notice, hon. We told on a USCIS call. Okay, I wouldn't go by what somebody told you on a call. Okay, you need to see that paper documentation. Okay, so if you did not get the I-130 approval notice and the I-45 approval notice and your interview has not been waived, you can try calling back again, referencing your receipt notices. Tell them that you called and someone said your interview was waived, but you never received the notices. So please call back USCIS. But don't go by what these people that answer the phone are contract workers. They're not even officers. So they just go by what they see on a screen. But if you have to receive, if those notices weren't generated, I mean, your case was not approved. Okay. Someone got deported. Any change of status. If someone's got deported again, that's going to be a $100 consultation. Go to my website, GailLaw.com, hit book online, make the payment, and we'll be able to have a consultation to discuss options for that person to return to the U.S. How long does it take when your husband filed? It depends if your husband is a U.S. citizen or permanent resident. Okay. So again, that was filed already. The theme here again is I've been waiting long. I've been waiting long. If you have no prior filing, our consultations are free. Most of these questions are people who have filed. They're at a standstill. There's a hiccup. They don't know what to do. Those are $100 for the consultation, but we'll be more than happy to take a look at your case and tell you if it's within processing time or not within processing time. Of course, you can schedule an appointment, Sabrina, to speak with us. Again, go to GailLaw.com, GailLaw.com. Click on book online, and you'll see our schedule and options to make payment. How long does it take the judge to make a decision on your case? It depends on where you are in your immigration case. Did you have a master hearing yet? Are you at your individual hearing? Normally, if your individual hearing is where you present your case, and the judge normally makes a decision that day. So it depends on your case and the type of case. I'm married to a U.S. citizen. I overstayed my F. Can I apply for adjustment of status? Chef, yes, you can. We would be able to do that consultation for free. So give us a call, 407-292-7730. WhatsApp us, 407-353-1363. You'll find all of this on our website, GailLaw.com, Gail, which is Gail, Law, LAW.com, GailLaw.com. Hit the book online and make your appointment to speak to us. We have been practicing immigration law from here in Orlando going on 19 years. Okay. I applied for my green card through the court and they terminated. Do I have to pay again? You have to follow up with your attorney to see with your attorney if your attorney notified USCIS. I could say that if you went to court and then the judge terminated your case and you have an I-45 receipt notice number, call USCIS, call the 800 number, mention the receipt notice number, and ask them what's the status on the production of your green card because the judge terminated your case. Okay. My son is a citizen. He got married. His wife is from Mexico. Can he get her green card? Yes, we would have to discuss that during a consultation, but generally a U.S. citizen can file for a wife abroad. We have to make sure she's never had any unlawful entry or any attempt at unlawful entry. But yes, he can file, and that processing time is about 9 to 12 months. We'll be more than happy to do a consultation, okay? To Teresita, just go to our website, GailLaw.com, hit the blue button, book online, and set that appointment. We would want to speak to him. You're more than welcome to be on the call, but I will need the petitioner or beneficiary on the phone, okay? Can you apply for Social Security number using ITIN? No. An ITIN is an individual taxpayer identification number. You apply for that just simply for the purpose of filing a tax return, okay? If you're seeking a Social Security number, that can only be done through an immigration process. So you have to show that you have an immigration process pending. Through us applying for the work permit is when you get the Social Security number, okay? So you can't apply for a social if you already have an ITIN. My adult daughter was waiting for her interview, 2016 priority date. Adult daughter. Nalini, are you a U.S. citizen or green card holder? But I did mention if you're a U.S. citizen, they're working on 2014. If you're a permanent resident, they're working on 2015. So they're not up to that priority date yet. So if you're a citizen, you have 2 more years. If you're a green card holder, you have 1 more year. The file should be at the visa center or close to being at the visa center. How long the process for mom adjustment? She is with me in the U.S. Yes, I'm a U.S. citizen. U.S. citizen filing for a parent. U.S. citizen over 21 filing for a parent in the U.S. 9 to 12 months. We can definitely help you. I think that's Art. Go to our website, GailLaw.com, hit the blue button, book online, make your appointment for the free consultation so we could go in greater detail with you about the process and the fees, okay? Hi to our viewers on Facebook. Let me see. Facebook, hi. And hi to our viewers on TikTok, and hi to our viewers on YouTube. Again, not too it's still not too late to share on whichever platform you're watching us. Hit that share so you can notify your friends of this live session. Like. Tune in the first Wednesday of every month. We're going to keep these live sessions the first Wednesday of every month. To visit us, we just released a video on TikTok last night. It has like 20,000 views. You know, always check all these platforms for all of our videos, okay? Going back to our questions, how long the process from, okay, so parent of U.S. citizen, I already said 1 year. Yes, she can file with the process in the U.S. Even though she overstays and does the process in the U.S., no penalty to her. Will a waiver be required for inadmissibility for a crime of moral turpitude, 10-year ban bar completed? Yes, if there's a crime of moral turpitude, you still would need a waiver for reentry into the United States. We would, that's a $100 consultation. And we would want to see the court and arrest records for that crime to make sure that that person does qualify for a waiver. Okay. How long the process takes if I'm married to a U.S. citizen? 9 to 12 months in the U.S. or outside the U.S. If spouse of U.S. citizen, that does qualify for a free consultation. Do we deal with divorces? No, we don't. A lot of cases you could do your divorce on your own. How long PIP to get approved? Parole in place can take 1 to 2 years. Once that's approved, then when you get the parole document, then you can file for adjustment of status. How long is it for siblings? Right now, they're working on 2007 for siblings. And if you do the math, because we're in 2023, it's about 15 years. Okay. 15 to 17 years. Is there a way to contact if you haven't heard from them? If about I-45, you can call the 800 number, reference your receipt number, but Oluwato Janet, you can call the 800 number on the bottom of those receipt notices and reference call the 800 number, reference your receipt number, and you could tell them you think your case is outside of normal processing time. Sometimes they'll tell you, no, it's not. You're within normal processing time, and they won't do an inquiry. So that's all you could do if you feel your case is outside of normal processing. I'm a citizen. I sponsored my husband since 2010. He came to the country without a visa. Okay, so I don't know if you're Papo Champ, if you're trying to tell me that the person entered illegally after you filed for them. So that it sounds like we need a consultation on that issue, because what bothers me is that you say he came without a visa, because he should have had an immigrant visa to enter the U.S. But if he came illegally, that's another question we're going to have through a consultation. My friend got her green card when she was 10. Her mom took her back. Can she reapply? If your friend got a green card when she was 10, and if your friend, and this is Fiona, has been outside the U.S. for more than a year continuously, then she may have lost her green card, okay? So I'd be happy to do a consultation with the friend, but she sounds like she may have to have a new petition filed for her by a qualifying family member, okay? My cousin, okay. Whew, okay. How many days perm is taking now? Perm is taking a very long time, and we're not even handling those type of cases. Do you think DREAM Act 2023 will pass? I'm not going to hold my breath. I really don't believe it's going to pass. Not with the Republican majority in the House. I don't think we're going to get a DREAM Act. My father got his green card. How soon can he apply for his kids? If your father just got his green card, he can't apply right away as soon as he has his green card in hand. But a green card holder could only file for an unmarried child and a spouse. So your father, as a green card holder, can file for a spouse. outside the U.S., he could file for children under 21, and he can file for children unmarried over 21. A green card holder cannot file for married children. My husband and children went through the interview, have not yet been granted visa. You would have to contact that embassy. Normally, most embassies now, you have to set up an online account with the embassy where you can correspond with them directly. I would go on that online account and do an inquiry to see why the visa hasn't been issued. My sister entered New York City legally. Oh, overstayed. If your sister entered legally, but she overstayed, she's now illegally. So now that she's overstayed, her only options are marriage to a U.S. citizen, or if a child over 21 files for her. Okay. Once you overstay, your options become very limited. Does your law firm handle visa for Indian nurses to work in the U.S.? Yes. Shoot us an email on that. Gail at GailLaw, GAIL at GAILLAW. What we want to know if you took the test, and then we can file a national interest waiver for a registered nurse qualified to work in the United States. My friend filed for her husband and stepdaughter. They're not here, not the daughter. Husband is here, not the daughter. Okay. For that person, Merlin Reed, we could do a consultation. It's going to be 100 because it's a prior filing. We need to look and see if maybe the stepdaughter didn't qualify because when her father married whoever, maybe she was over 18. So we would have to look and see why the stepdaughter did not get to come. I filed for my husband 2022 as a green card holder. As a green card holder, it's 2 years. So filing for a spouse, green card holder filing for a spouse is 2 years. Okay. So you're still within normal processing time. How long after getting social will you receive the green card? Green card's not automatic after the social. Immigration can decide to interview you, or they could decide to waive your interview if you submit enough evidence to prove a good faith marriage based on love, and then they do an interview waiver, which is part of our good news for today, which is marriage-based green cards. We are seeing a lot of interview waivers, but it's not automatic. Okay, so yes, you got your social, great, but you still have to wait on immigration to make a decision on the green card. They can bring you in for an interview, in which case, if you need our office to assist you, we prepare you for your interview. We do a mock interview, and we go with you to your interview here in Orlando. If you're outside of Orlando and you want us to prepare you, we do that also. We'll do a video chat, and we give you sample questions an officer can ask you, and give you a list of documents for you to gather and take to the interview. Asylum since 2019. I know, but asylum are taking like 12 to 14 years right now, and our office is not handling any asylum cases for that exact reason. Can my daughter sponsor me with her green card? Unfortunately, no. A green card holder cannot sponsor a parent. A green card holder can only sponsor a spouse, a child under 21, and a child unmarried child over 21. So again, a green card holder can only sponsor a spouse, a child under 21, and an unmarried child over 21. That is it. To sponsor a parent, you have to be a U.S. citizen. So your daughter is going to have to become a citizen, and then she could file for you as a parent. Only a U.S. citizen can file for a parent. Okay. Is there another interview for an I-751? If you had a 2-year card and you filed for the I-751 for the 10-year card, yes, you can have an interview. That was part of my bad news today. I-751s are taking 48 months or 4 years for decisions. But that decision can either be an interview, or they could approve you without an interview and mail you the 10-year card. Okay? She is 15. If the stepdaughter is 15, again, we have to take a look at that. So you're going to have to go to our website, GailLaw.com, book an appointment, pay the $100. Let us see the approval notices, any documents that were issued from the embassy, and we can tell you what's going on there with the stepdaughter, why she wasn't able to come. Same time to apply for marriage. Again, we don't tell you how to file the petitions. We do the filing, okay? And as you can see, the theme today is I've been waiting. I don't know why. Are you taking so long? It's good to have an attorney. People ask me every day, what's the benefit of having an attorney do it? Because we've been doing thousands of these. And when you guys do it on your own, you make mistakes. Mistakes will delay your filing. You don't know. Immigration, it's not as easy as filling in the blank. There are legal standards that have to be met and certain documents that have to be given to immigration for you to get approved. If you don't do that, immigration is going to deny your case. So you don't want the risk of a denial. I tell people, and I have a video on YouTube, denials equal deportation. If your case gets denied, especially if you're already overstayed, it can refer your case to immigration court. Can my dad, who's a U.S. citizen, apply for me if I'm 25? If you're 25, your dad, who's a U.S. citizen, if you're 25 and you're outside the United States, then yes, dad can apply for you. As I had mentioned earlier, U.S. citizen filing for an unmarried child, they're working on 2015. So it's still a wait. Can I move to a different office jurisdiction? If you have an interview and you want to move your interview to a different office, you would have to call the 800 number for USCIS. I enter 2010. I misplaced your I-94. There is a way if you have a copy of your bio page of your passport, you could go to CBP, Customs and Border Protection, I-94, and you can enter the information and see if you can get a duplicate I-94. If not, you have to file a petition to request a duplicate of your I-94. But if you have your passport and you have a stamp showing your entry, that can work. You don't have to get your I-94. How long has it taken for brother, sister? They're working on 2007. So if you file, look at when you filed, because right now they're on 2007. You're looking at about a 15-year wait right now. Okay, if you file today, it's a 15-year wait. But right now they're working on 2007. After an extension on a green card, do you get citizenship or a 10-year green card? Okay, if you had a 2-year card, I'm not understanding the question, Atina, but if you had a green card, a 2-year card, and you file Form I-751 to get the 10-year card, and if you've had the card total from the issue date for more than 5 years or 3 years, if you're based on filing on marriage for a U.S. citizen, then you can file for citizenship. I'm not sure if I'm answering your question. Applied for mom. Will mom's interview be waived? Again, that's a decision by the officer. These interview waivers are not automatic. It's case by case, depending on the officer. But in most of our situations where we see a U.S. citizen filing for a parent in the U.S., we do see a waiver, interview waiver, and green card mail. But again, case by case. If I entered 2010. Okay, you misplaced your I-94. You're gonna have to file a form to get a duplicate, but you have to know the date and place that you enter for immigration to issue you that duplicate. Can I travel to Canada? I wouldn't travel to Canada if you're on TPS. Well, if you have a travel document, then yes, but you're traveling at your risk. Just know an officer does not have to allow reentry into the United States. Okay. Talk about fraudulent I-94 and how it may affect your immigration case. A fraudulent I-94. I don't know how you would get a fraudulent I-94 unless it's not in your name. But you might have to email me on that. How long does the NVC normally take? The National Visa Center does not issue you a visa. The National Visa Center collects documents, police clearance, affidavit support, the visa fees. Once your case is what we call documentarily qualified at the Visa Center, then it moves on to the embassy, and then you have to wait on the embassy to schedule an appointment. Okay. So we're over by 8 minutes, but it's great. The questions are coming in. Let me pay attention to Facebook a little bit. Here's a way to track online with is there a way to track online with an alien number? Okay, Claire, I'm trying to figure out track what online, track a case or track if someone is in deportation. Okay, because you can track your any form filed once you have a receipt number by going to USCIS website. How long for a green card for marriage based on USC? That's 9 to 12 months on AR. Applied November 2022. Yeah, you got some time to wait. It's only been not even 4 months if you file in November. So it's 9 to 12 months. AR, it's 9 to 12 months on that. So you're still within normal processing time. If you're trying to track your case, again, if you go to my website, GailLaw.com, GailLaw.com, and you scroll to the middle of the page, it says online case inquiry and status. And you click on the link, it says online USCIS case inquiry. If you click on that link, it will take you to immigration's website, and you just have to put your receipt number in, and you can track your case. And it'll just normally all you're going to see is, your case was received. Your case is being reviewed. That's all you're going to see. If you want something more, you can call the 800 number and give your receipt number, and they'll let you know if it's within processing time or outside of normal processing time, in which case they can try to put an inquiry in. Okay. I'm going to take a couple more questions. And then, again, if I don't get to you, you can call our office, 407-292-7730. WhatsApp, 407-353-1363. Go to our website. It has all this information, GailLaw.com, GailLaw.com. And when you go to our website, there's a book online. You click that blue button and you can see our calendar, make your appointment, pay your $100 if you have a prior filing, prior arrest, prior removal case. Those are the only cases that are 100. If you don't have any of the above, it's a free consultation. A lot of you today ask about, you're getting married, filing for a spouse. That's predominantly the cases that we handle. We're more than happy to help you. VAWA cases are taking 2 to 3 years for a decision. So I know you filed in 2022. It's going to take 2 to 3 years. Nobody gets citizenship automatically. For the person who asked about the Eugene on the day of adoption, no, citizenship is not automatically. When you're adopted, you still got to go through the process, okay? Immigration process. If you're I-130 getting approved by USCIS depends on who filed, citizen or green card holder. If your I-45 was denied, if it was denied, first book an appointment with our office, pay the $100. Let me take a look at the denial, and I would advise you if to refile or what options you have, okay? Going back to Facebook, U.S. citizen, your husband does not have a social yet, so you can't file a tax return. So you can go ahead and file your tax return as single or head of household, and then when he does get his social, then you amend the tax return and add him. Okay, so that would be the best way to handle that, ANAR, right? You file as single or head of household. When he gets his social, amend the tax return. Or you could just file for an extension to file your tax return, which brings you to October of this year. And hopefully he'll get his social by then, and then you could file married filing joint tax return. Okay. Your live sessions are very useful. Thank you, Pierre. What is the timeline between when you apply for a marriage-based green card and receiving EAD? I have my biometrics. I'm responding to RFE. Employment cards are taking 3 to 6 months. Okay. But if you had a request for evidence, they wouldn't have issued you the employment card. So employment card, 3 to 6 months. If you feel it's outside normal processing, call the 800 number, reference your receipt number. U visas are taking 12 to 14 years. Brother, sister, 21. How long does it take spouse in the U.S. 2023 if I'm a citizen? 1 year for spouse of a U.S. citizen processing from outside of the United States. If you want to start the process, you said you had a consultation with us. Wonderful. Go to our website, GailLaw.com. There's a red button that says hire us. So hit the red button and it'll give you all the options of how to make payment, okay? So if you want to book an appointment, go to our website, GailLaw.com, hit the blue button, book your appointment online. If you want to hire us, hit the red button, hire us, and you'll get all the steps, okay? Okay, one more question. Where are you located? We're in Orlando, Florida, but it doesn't matter where we're located. We use technology. We have consultations digitally every day. Because it's immigration law, it's federal law, you can use an attorney anywhere in the United States. We have clients all over the world that we prepare and file petitions. So you don't have to be in Orlando, Florida, just to hire us. Can I travel outside the U.S. on OPT on an expired visa? Nope. If you're on OPT and your F1 expired, you need to, you would have, if you want to go outside and you'll have to get another visa because you won't be allowed to come back in. So if you're on an F, you would have to make an appointment at another embassy outside the U.S. to get the visa, a valid visa, so you can return. Okay, that is going to be our last question. Fiancé visa. I'm not a big fan of fiancés because they have a high rate of denial. They're discretionary. An officer doesn't have a right to give it to you. And they're taking 2-3 years. They're very backlogged. So that will be it. I know a lot of questions are still coming in on TikTok. And thank you for all the likes today. We had a lot of participation. And again, a lot of you have petitions pending for a while. You filed, you don't know where you are. Again, we can have a consultation. It's $100. Send us what you have. Upload to the appointment scheduler what documents you have. Schedule a phone consultation with us, and we'll be more than happy to go through your questions. Okay. Lock it into your calendars. First Wednesday of the month. So we're looking at our next session on April 5th. Mark it on your calendars, April 5th at 1 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. Make it a date. Let's meet up here again and have this immigration info live session with Immigration Attorney Gail Seeram. Again, practicing immigration law. Been practicing law since 1999. So this is going into our 24th year of practicing law. We'll be more than happy to help you with all of your immigration questions. I'll leave you with our number, 407-292-7730. WhatsApp, 407-353-1363. Go to our website, GailLaw.com, GailLaw.com. Find us on Facebook, TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, hashtag GailLaw, or look up on Facebook, YouTube, TikTok, My U.S. Immigration Lawyer. Thank you all for joining us this afternoon. It was my pleasure to be here with you all. Thank you for all the likes and the hearts. I see all these hearts on TikTok. So thank you again for joining us. We'll see you at the next Immigration Info Live session, the first Wednesday of every month. Thank you.